Welcome back, everyone. Those that are new here, welcome. I'm Dark Hour 717, and this is the weekly news review for the Star Citizen universe. This is where we're going to go over all the latest news and information for the world of Star Citizen. As we move into patch 3.18, there is a lot to go over, along with the Inside Star Citizen, which brought us some very comical visuals, as well as Star Citizen Live. We'll take a look at all of it. Before we get into all the information though, if you enjoy these updates, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button, as it really does help me get the videos out to more people. Also, for those that have subscribed, I want to say thank you. Make sure to stick around though till the end of the video to see how you can get entered in for a chance to win a Drake Cutter. Patch 3.18 is finally released. Originally targeting Thursday, the patch got delayed due to final QA testing as they realigned to release early Friday for the US time zone. Of course, this came and went, and we finally saw the release begin at 4 p.m. Eastern Time Friday afternoon. This, of course, was the beginning of the end to a long wait for the patch to reach the live servers. For some, though, it was an extension of that long road to an even longer wait. Once the servers were taken down for maintenance, it was at least a couple hours before we would see these come back up and the update pushed. As with a number of patches, the system got flooded with people logging in, which immediately brought to light launcher issues that CIG needed to resolve, including no game package found. These did eventually get resolved, and many got launched to only hit the extensive queue for logging in. And this is not uncommon on launch day. What was found after that, though, was an issue that continues as of 11 a.m. Sunday morning. And this issue persists and keeps many backers out of the game entirely. What is occurring is many people are waiting to get in and receiving the 19,004 error that occurs while the player's account and character is being created and times out. This in turn makes it that the player never even makes it to the main menu. In my own attempts to get logged in, I have seen 19,000, 19,001, 19,003, and now reoccurring consistently 19,004 errors that seem to be random as to who would be affected by these. People are reporting alt accounts as well as family members on another PC are logging in with no issue while they are getting the 19,000 errors on their own account. This is not region-based or account-based or even client-based and is a server-side issue on CIG's side. This was also a known issue that was occurring with the PTU as well, though now that is live seems to be affecting a much larger group of players. Though many believe that if you got in and were able to play, you would not have to worry about it. As of Saturday morning, though, we are seeing players who did get in at launch and are now being locked out due to the 19,004 issue. As of 11:30 Eastern Time Sunday morning, more than 36 hours since launch, a sizable number of people are still unable to even log into the game. The 19,004 error is consistent and does not go away. A number of people have placed workarounds in SC testing chat and other forums, though the issue has been verified to be on the CIG server side, and success in workarounds appears to be nothing more than a placebo effect. We have received some updates in regard to the situation, one from Bearded CIG stating, "I'm sorry for the frustration this is causing. Over the last few days, I've seen streamers and social media posts of people worried that we might not be aware of what's going on because it's the weekend. I have graphs that show me how often people are running into each of these errors versus how often they are able to log in, so I want to assure you that I see every disconnection that you've run into. We've been working on addressing issues over the weekend, and there have been a number of problems that have been fixed already. Developers are still working on investigating and fixing issues that are arising, but as tends to be the case with things like this, fixing one issue tends to bring another one into view because the absence of one failure causes the others to become more frequent. In some cases, this has involved hotfixing and some additional logging to aid with the investigations. While the amount of errors that players have been encountering is going down proportionally to the amount of successful logins, it's clear that there are still problems. If you are experiencing 19,004 errors and are wondering if there's anything you can do, a good majority of these are going to be on our end. If you're currently experiencing 60,015 errors connecting to the game, we're aware of them and are looking into it. Contrary to what the error says, it's not actually being caused by full game servers. This statement, along with others, does show that CIG is aware of the issues and they are working on it. And of course, we are thankful for them putting in the time on the weekend to try to get these things resolved. Plus, there was another update that was recently released on the RSI status page indicating major outage, stating Since the launch of Star Citizen Alpha 3.18, our teams have been monitoring a number of issues players have been encountering while attempting to log into the game. These have primarily manifested in the form of 19,003 and 19,004 with a mix of other similar codes. While monitoring those issues, the team has been able to tune and make adjustments to the entitlement processing flow to ensure that a large portion of player attempts were still successful and able to make it into the PU. However, at a point in the early morning UTC, the environment entered into a state which would require a more disruptive recovery process. As of 1300 UTC, the environment has been in the process of recovering from the state it was in, but we wanted to advise that while this recovery is in progress, players will be experiencing periods of extreme difficulty getting into the PU. We expect players to see a mix of errors from 19K, 30K, and 60K ranges. So again, more information that they are working on the issue, they are aware of it, and again, we do have appreciation for them putting that time in to get the game back into a more stable state. CIG has also posted a lengthy list of known issues for patch 3.18 as well as a more detailed explanation of their symptoms. A link will be in the description to this list, and what we are seeing listed is, of course, the 19,000, 60,000, 15,000, 16,000 errors. ASOP terminals become blank. RSI Scorpius Antares quantum dampener is not functioning. Orville outskirts may have restricted areas for vehicles. Issues with shuttles, trains, trams, and elevators. Game crash while mining with the Grey Cat Rock. Party members become invisible. Unexpected collisions with flying near other ships. Visit Orison commercial game client stall. Unable to exit the ship seats. Invisible cargo. An error 0 code 0 that usually has to deal with the easy anti-cheat. Pledge items lost on death. Altitude meter incorrect after quantum travel. Ground vehicles in initial spawn points. Game launcher issues after a server crash. Running and installed application conflicts. Ship claims are not functioning. Hangar modules are not available. Select system menu is empty. Mobiglass is missing or non-functional. Mouse cursor is flickering in the Mobiglass, and loadout service issues as well. There is a wide variety of issues being seen by those that can actually get into the game, and many of which were seen and resolved or unresolved on PTU. What we have seen and was verified by Xylo is the fact that 3.18.1 will come along with a partial wipe. Xylo verifying that earned AUEC will stay as well as rep, though in-game purchases may be wiped. As to when we'll see 3.18.1, there is no word other than the initial anticipation that it could be a week or so after the initial launch of 3.18. So as more information does become available, we will definitely update you here, and hopefully they'll get the servers to a state where everybody has the ability to at least get into the game and then be able to address the other issues that are going on within the game itself. Now, along with patch 3.18, we do also see a number of ship sales come along. This includes the ships ideal to the new racing courses, as well as the new industrial salvage ship, and of course the new Scorpius Antares. What we are seeing is a P-72 Archimedes for $35 US, Mustang Gamma for $55 US, Origin M50 for $100 US, the Origin 350R for $125 US, the Misk Razor for $145 US, the EX for $150 US, and the LX for $155. Now, for the salvaging, we actually see that the Drake Vulture is on a $150 US war bond, or you can get for $175 US as a standalone ship, but also has special war bond upgrades available for it as well. The RSI Scorpius Antares also is having a war bond at $210 US, or you can get for $230 US as a standalone ship, and this also has special war bond upgrades available for it as well. The Aegis Reclaimer is of course also available at $400 US. These sales are what's currently available, and as Stella Fortuna should be on it soon with its celebration date being March 15th, we will see additional items listed next week, very likely including the Stella Fortuna paints and ships like the Emerald Archimedes, the Ursa Fortuna, and of course the Connie Emerald Phoenix. The big question is, with the current issues going on in patch 3.18, will they continue on with Stella Fortuna on a timely schedule to meet that March 15th date, or will we see it postponed till later in the month? We do see that with the release of the Scorpius Antares, the Q&A on the ship is out as well. What we do learn is that the Antares has the same stats as the base Scorpius, though with the removal of the turret, the reduction in weight has brought a slight increase in overall speed for the Antares. As well as with the loss of the turret, it still lands on the heavy fighter side of the ship design than the interdiction side, as its 4 main pilot-controlled guns still pack a hell of a punch. The Antares EMP will be larger than that of the Warlock and be near equal to the Sentinel, trading a slightly slower charge time for better range. and due to this, the Antares will have one of the slowest charge rates along with the Sentinel. We also see, as was shown by those that had an earlier look at the Antares, that a co-pilot is needed to fire the EMP and quantum dampener. The Antares itself is a full variant and is not modular design and cannot be changed between the turret and the EMP. I will have a link to the Q&A as there are other things that we learn about the ship. I recommend checking out, and as soon as we can get logged into the game, we will bring a full review of the RSI Scorpius Antares. We also see on the RSI page a Meet the Vulture and Meet the Antares post that will run you through both ships. Links to these guided tours are in the description if you want to check those out. Along with the release of these, we of course see a variety of new paints released as well. These can be seen in the pledge store and have some very sharp color combinations available. We also see the Squadron 42 monthly report posted on the RSI website, and I'll have a link to that in the description to check that out. This brings us, of course, to other items brought in with 318, and we see a buggy track racing contest announced. A link's going to be in the description to all the details, but if you can keep a PTV in one piece for an entire lap and post a great time along with a few other things, you could walk away with a Drake Corsair, Drake Cuddy Black, or for third place, a Drake Cutter. All three will include a Grey Cat STV. Make sure to look at all the rules, as there is some extra items that you have to complete in order to have an entry, and I'll have that link in the description. We do see this week the Inside Star System bring us Design Brief Engineer, a look at the engineering role that will be coming down the line in the verse. And I will say a comical one. We see the goal of the engineering role to maintain the systems across the ship. The engineer is responsible for a number of items across the vessel, and this will include normal wear and tear and damage caused by mechanical failure. There'll be many reasons for mechanical malfunctions. As the engineer, it will be up to you to determine and fix these issues as they are found. These can include loss of power, power spikes, clogging, and more. All of these items will create more for players to do as passengers on the ships. Instead of just standing around or manning a turret, someone is going to need to assist in maintaining the ship. This IC was definitely a more interesting one to see, especially with the graphics that they admitted were purposely made a bit extravagant. It is very interesting and has been a long awaited and hoped for gameplay. This will force players into a wider role as playing in the multi-crew ships and is much welcome change. I recommend checking out the video for the full in-depth look at this upcoming change, and a link will be in the description. This really does look like it's going to be fun and awesome. After that, we see Star Citizen Live with a sit-down meeting the team from Turbulent. By Jared's own admission, this is not going to be the most informative of shows, and it is basic sit-down with Benoit from Turbulent in Montreal, as well as other Turbulent staff. Stated at the beginning, Turbulent has been involved with Star Citizen since its inception. We also learned more about the studio itself, as well as items that Turbulent worked on for CIG, and later we meet Nate Dearsley, Squadron 42 art director, and Jake Gaines, assistant art director, and get to know more about their history. The show itself did not contain any significant news, but if you enjoy the meet and greets, I would check it out, and the link will be in the description. And that is about it for this week as far as any news goes. As we all sit here anxiously still waiting to see if they resolve the issues locking many people out, you can let me know your thoughts. If you're also locked out, or if you're in, let me know how it's running. Make sure to get your entry in for the Drake Cutter giveaway. Just subscribe here and comment on any video, and we'll draw the winner on April 1st. You can also get a second entry by following over on Twitch. This is also where you can catch the stream every Tuesday and Sunday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, or here on YouTube every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you do want to help support the channel, check out the merch store or just hit the subscribe button above to get a membership, and it all goes back into our giveaway, so I want to say thank you. Also, I just want to say thank you for checking out the video, and please be safe out there, and we will catch you in the verse.